Guess who's back? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Choctaw Sports Hot Seat. I'm Rholdon.
I'm Aaron Feazelle.
The Hot Seat is officially back, and we got brand new stars to interview. But before that, I want to introduce our new co-host, the president of Mississippi College, SGA president, Mr. Aaron Feazelle. How you doing today, Aaron?
Good, man. Before we get into it, I just want to thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to do something like this.
Well, Aaron's an absolute legend at Mississippi College. Just made the Good Works team at the All-State Sugar Bowl. Aaron, tell us a little bit about what you do at Mississippi College and who are you?
Okay, so I'm a senior here. I'm studying business. I'm from Diamond Head, Mississippi. I just got done playing football. Like Corey said, I'm the SGA president here. I serve as a presidential ambassador, and I work as a tutor in the Writing Center. And kind of bouncing off what Corey said about the Good Works team, I was able to go down to New Orleans and represent Mississippi College on behalf of doing community service with 21 other student athletes. It was just a great time, a great experience down there to get in the dome and do some community service while I was down there.
Now we're going to have Blaine Crim on as our interviewee. Blaine got drafted by the Texas Rangers last year in the 19th round, then went on to win the Northwest League MVP. Blaine's a special talent, and we're excited to have him on. Welcome back. We got a Choctaw Baseball legend. He won the GSC Player of the Year last season. Mr. Blaine Crim, how you doing today, Blaine?
I'm good. How are you, man? Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. So, when you got drafted last year, take me through the emotions when the Rangers called you and selected you, and you were finally going to get a chance to play minor league baseball and potentially in the majors. Yeah,
man. I mean, of course, that was like a lifelong dream that I've had of mine. So the experience was surreal. I wasn't really expecting it, especially the interest from the scouts kind of came late last year. So that wasn't really my plan. So the fact that happened was a pleasant surprise. I was kind of down that our season had just ended. So selfishly that was a good boost back up, but unfortunately, my career at MC was done, so it was exciting to kind of start a new career, but I was very nervous. Didn't really know what to expect. I knew the competition was going to be a little bit better than the GSC. Right. So, I mean, it was a really good first season. I kind of know what to expect going into next year, but overall the experience was incredible.
What were you doing at the time that you got drafted?
Well, so I was at my house. I was on the last day. I wasn't one of the guys that pops up on TV. So how they do it is they just have a draft tracker online that you can access on your phone or your iPad or whatever. So there were rumors that I was going on the second day. So my parents were tracking it the second day and nothing happened. So they were all bummed out. And so the next day they assumed I was going pretty early. So we were sitting in the living room on the iPad, waiting on the Texas Rangers pick, and what was weird is you kind of wait and maybe another team takes you because they call you after the fact. So I had some other teams that were telling me they were going to take me as well, so didn't really know who was going to take me and when. So finally about the 15th, 16th round came along, and we were just like, man, we got to stop looking at this. It was just stressing us out, and I was super hungry. I hadn't eaten all day. It was 1 o'clock. So I started making some lunch, and I just put the iPad down on the kitchen table, and I went to go grab something, and I came back, and it was 4 picks later after the Texas Rangers, and I looked, and I was like, well, who'd they get this round? And it was me. And I was like, oh, Dad. And he was doing some work, and then my mom was in the back of the house, and she was folding some clothes or something, and she was like, oh my God! So she freaked out in the back of the house, and we all just kind of, had a great moment in the kitchen, which was kind of awkward, but it was cool. I mean, and then they called me 5 minutes later, and everybody started texting me and stuff. So if I wouldn't have, found out that way, I'd have found out by some of my buddies. Right, so
That's
it was
awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I was glad I was able to spend that moment with my parents.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, you talk about the competition level in the GSC and in the league that you're in now. So my first question would be, what's that transition been like, and what has MC done well to help you in that transition?
So, I mean, the GSC is, very talented when it comes to any sport. You got football, baseball, soccer, basketball, track field, all the sports. So I don't think anybody should take the GSC lightly when it comes to athletics. So, you know, a lot of people do that when you go play with a bunch of people from the Division I level and whatnot. So I take a lot of pride in playing in Division II, especially in the Gulf South. And the competition level is, you know, of course it's not pro ball caliber, but, you know, everybody says that the SEC is pro ball caliber, but that's not either. You have SEC guys come and struggle and have to adjust.
Right.
So it's just you have to take little bits and pieces from, you know, where you played that transfers over. And, you know, the pitching, you know, in pro balls, of course, you know, a little quicker, a little more polished, and then hitters 1 through 9 are a lot better, or, you know, consistently better. But, you know, I played plenty of guys over my 4-year career here at MC that, you know, deserved to play pro ball and that didn't get their chance, and other guys did that played at, you know, the Division I level. But here at MC, just the mentality that we work on here and the culture that was created was what really helped me transition in pro ball. It's not, you know, of course I had to adjust physically and mentally when it comes to adjusting to the talent, but because of the mentality that was instilled in me here from Coach Hayworth and the coaching staff and even Coach Shue in the weight room is really what helped me transition so well, just because, you know, the only option here is to win, even though our first 2 seasons we didn't do very much of it. But, you know, it was just kind of instilling that and learning how to win and how to compete. And that mentality is something I'll take, you know, for the rest of my life and even after sports. So, you know, that's something I'm very thankful for that Coach Hayworth and the coaching staff here has done a fantastic job with.
So, Blaine, what's the biggest difference between college and professional ball? Is it playing every single day, or is it just the pitchers throwing 90 miles per hour?
Oh, well, I would say to the naked eye, it would be definitely the pitching and just the size of the guys, just like the physicality. But then when you go to the mental side, it is the playing every day and, you know, kind of preparing your body to be able to play, you know, consistently on a daily basis and not just, you know, twice on the weekend and once in the midweek. So, the professional, our professional, like, coaches, that's their job, is to make us ready to be able to do that. So, I mean, that you kind of adjust to pretty quickly. But when I would say mentally, is kind of just like taking a profession. They want us to take a professional effort towards everything. And that means it's just kind of knowing when to do stuff. And that was something that took me forever to figure out. Like, they don't want you to call him coach. Like, it's, you know, first name only or last name or just nickname. So, you know, I'm like, hey, coach, hey, coach, hey, coach. And they're like, don't ever call me that again. I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. And then it's just kind of like knowing when to be places that, you know, you take the same. And that's why I'm very thankful I was able to go to college, just because, you know, you kind of take the same mentality in college. Like, you want to be 15 minutes early or you're late. You're always doing that extra work, especially here, to try and get that extra edge. So looking at that stuff kind of transitioned pretty easily, but to the naked eye, to answer your question, definitely pitching. It's pretty tough.
So you talk about coaches giving you that mentality when you were here. So, you know, this is a college. We have professors here as well. So did you ever have a professor in your time here that kind of made that positive impact and kind of gave you a message that you take with you now?
Yeah, so, I was business just like you. Professors here, fantastic across the board, helped me out big time. Very thankful I was able to graduate. You know, I had some, I guess when, like, professors that stick out to me would be the ones that, you know, sought out after me because of the reason because I played baseball. So that would be, you know, you had Dr. Robbins, always at our games. He ended up, you know, by my junior, senior year, he's sitting with our dads watching the games. So, I mean, he's, you know, fantastic, big-time supporter. Chris Smith, big-time supporter, played baseball here. So, you know, we'd always have talks after class, and then I was always in class with a bunch of baseball guys with them. So that was great. Dr. Phillips, he was clearly a supporter, and it was just kind of like, you know, if you had a professor during baseball season, it was a little different because you would miss class for a baseball game, and then they'd be really curious the next game. Dr. Perkins, Dr. Pauly. I mean, across the board, you know, you had big fans of just athletics overall here.
Right.
And that's, you know, I'm very thankful to go to MC because it's just that community atmosphere that,
Absolutely.
you know, everybody truly cares about you. And they're not just your professor. They actually care about, you know, your everyday life and not just what you made on the test.
Right.
So.
Did you have a moment where you were kind of like, okay, I'm here? You know, like just playing, when people talk about a moment where they kind of feel like, not that they made it, but that they're playing professional baseball. Did you have that moment?
Yeah, so I would say it was when Katie came out to watch this season. Definitely was, you know, missing her a lot. It was a tough transition early, just because going out there, the guys weren't huge fans of the new draft guys, because that potentially means that they're either getting sent down or released, you know, and whatnot. So it was just kind of tough. Like I would call her, call my parents every day and be like, you know, this isn't what I really expected. Like this, I'm not having that much fun, and you know, I don't like baseball when it's not fun. Like it's terrible to play when it's not fun. So, you know, I was kind of being a little baby about it. Wasn't really taking the most of my opportunity out there. So Katie comes out there, and she comes on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You know, she comes on a weekend, and very thankful she was able to make it out there. But so in Spokane, we had a very good fan base, very wide fan base that was very enthusiastic and very passionate about their baseball. So
And Michael Leach, huh?
Do I?
And Michael Leach.
And Mike Leach, yeah, correct. Not anymore though. So you know, she comes to the first game, and actually it turned out being my day off. So you know, she just had to sit there and watch. Feel bad for her, but Thursday, you know, there's like 3,000 or 4,000 people there. Didn't think anything of it. And then Friday night came, and it was firework night. And I kind of made a little name for myself at this point. And so there was about 7,000 people there that night. And just for some reason, I had, you know, a really good game while she was there. And just the fans were going crazy. And, like, you know, I'm just get to kind of sit back and look, like my fiance's in the stands, like with 7,000 people. And it's like, then it finally set in that this wasn't just like summer baseball anymore. Like this was professional baseball. And just getting to see her after the game and like all that kind of stuff, it just kind of hit me when she was out there that like, okay, this is my job. Like I'm out here for a reason. I'm not just out here, you know, playing baseball just to play baseball. Like I'm trying to make a livelihood out of this now. Like it's time to kind of get in gear. And that's kind of when my mentality like flipped. And she did a very good job of, you know, kind of keeping me humble there and like telling me to make the most of my opportunity. And once that mentality flipped, that's when I kind of took that, hey, I'm playing professional baseball. Let's, you know, make the most of it every single day. Not many people get to do this. I'm going to make the most of my opportunity out here. And that's kind of when it just flipped the switch for me. I definitely had that moment, just like you were saying, though. It was definitely, like, it was on the field, and I'm just like, whoa, all right, I need to get it in gear.
So tell us a little bit about that milestone as well, getting engaged and, you know, setting all that up and then getting down on that knee. What was that like?
Man, that's the most nervous I've ever been in my entire life. It's fun. Me and her joke about it now, and, you know, some of her friends that were there, I don't think I said anything. I don't think I really asked her to marry me. I just kind of got down on one knee, and I, like, frantically freaked out when she was turned around and just got down and was like, started crying, didn't really know what I was saying. And she said yes, so she's kind of saved me the trouble. But that was super stressful, man. I was like, I didn't really know what my plan was. I didn't know if I was getting drafted. So I didn't know if I was just going to take a job or, you know, anything like that. But I knew that, you know, she was the one. I knew that I wanted to ask her, and I wanted to do it as quick as possible. Like, I need to get this ring on her finger before she realizes that she does not need to be with me. So, you know, went and got the ring, picked it out, actually got the one that she didn't want, so I was nervous about that too. But her friends helped me out, you know, they helped me out as much as possible. So they were really the ones that helped it, you know, go together. But, man, my heart, like, beats right now thinking about it. I was just like, you know, you get the most comfortable with her. Like, I'm the most comfortable with her that I've ever been in my entire life. But when I hopped down on one knee, it was just like, like, all right, you know, like get words out. Like it was like talking to a girl for the first time ever. Right. And, you know, that's to this day my greatest accomplishment. So very thankful she said yes. Very thankful she's still with me. So I'm excited. I'm definitely excited about that.
So when I talked to your dad a few months ago, he said that she was the better athlete between the two.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
100%. 100%. Now, the only thing I have on her is hand-eye coordination. So, our kids, they can have all her attributes. I just want them to have my hand-eye. If that happens, then we'll be in good shape. But she's got me beat.
So, who is probably the best player or some players that you played against this past season that you would say, like, man, that guy's good?
Well, we faced King Felix. So we faced Felix Hernandez. He was on a rehab start. That was just surreal. Of course, it was my day off. I played like 10 days in a row, and, the one day I actually want to play, I don't get to play.
Mm-hmm.
So facing Felix Hernandez, I mean, he was just – it was in, the team – we were playing the Mariners team, of course, and they were right outside of Seattle. So he literally just drove from the stadium. And so there's like 5,000 people packed out watching him throw. And he was getting mad that he was like 93, 94 because he wants to be like 96, 97. And so it was just surreal watching him face my teammates. And I'm like,
probably a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he'll be a Hall of Famer. Yeah. And he's got the last perfect game, thrown right now. So that was just unbelievable to watch him pitch. Got to play with Joey Gallo, who's the the face of the Rangers franchise. When I got out there to Arizona, he was rehabbing his wrist. So that was crazy. There's some of my teammates, I played with a couple first rounders this year that, are our number 1, number 5 prospects that are projected to make it, that are just extremely talented and, have a good head on their shoulders and stuff. But some of the Latin guys are just freaks that are like 16, 17 years old. So honestly, I wish I could just name a few people, but it's just everybody kind of runs together. Like, there's some people, most people are just very, very good. And they say, like, hey, everybody here has a chance to make the big leagues. It's just kind of up to you to make it. And it's just the mental aspect of the game is really what helps you make it. So I'm hoping the mental aspect we made, that was instilled in me here helps me along the way.
Think it will.
We'll see.
If you were a candy, what candy would you be and why?
All right, I would say Laffy Taffy, strictly because of the song. Shake That Laffy Taffy. I firmly believe that I'm good at dancing, and that I just get this rhythm going when I hear that song, when I hear songs along that line. So I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it here on set, but later maybe. But I would, Laffy Taffy, because I'm good at shaking it.
I'm definitely gonna hold you up to that, dude.
Yeah, I'll do it. We'll do that later.
So I heard from an insider that there's another song that you think kind of relates to you. You want to share that with everybody?
Yeah, I mean, it's just in the lyrics, man. Play that funky music. I'm just, my mom, growing up, she was just always, she liked to shake it a little bit too. And she kept me cultured on the, on the music side. And so we would always jam out. American Woman was a big one too. But, play that funky music, and my dad's pretty wild as well. And so, I just kind of grew up being a little comfortable with myself, even though I probably shouldn't be. And so that was just one of my jams growing up. And, I'll just, to this day, I believe that song was made for me. And, your insider source does believe that that's not true. But to me, I believe it's true.
So what was like the weirdest superstition you've seen in the locker room? Like, or just been around? It can be college or it can be professional.
All right, so I got a couple of them. So actually in Arizona a couple weeks ago, we had a meeting, a 30-minute meeting on routines, basically superstitions. And so the coach who was leading the meeting kind of put his old routine up when he used to play. And games tend to start at 7 o'clock. It started at like 5:57. That's when it started. It'd say 5:57, get undressed. 6 o'clock, get in the shower. 6:03, get out of the shower. 6:05, dry off. Like 2 a minute. And it was just crazy to see. Like, it was like he brought his own coffee pot to make green tea, and he didn't put his headphones on until this exact moment, and he listened to the same exact songs to the same exact tea, like to a T, and then he would take Excedrin at this exact moment, and just crazy stuff like that. And he would like put his left sock on first, his right sock on, then his sliding shorts, and it was just like in an exact order. And it's just crazy that all our coaches there were like, yep, I had a routine pretty similar to that. Like, they did not stray from that routine. And so, and some of my teammates this year, you know, some of them had that, like they had to shower, they had to do, like they had to eat in a certain candy, they had to have a certain drink, you know, stuff like that. But I thought the funniest thing was like this one guy, if he would go 2 games without a hit, he would go shower with his uniform on, full uniform. He'd go shower with his full uniform on, and he said, I'm cleansing all the bad mojo out of my jersey, and then I'll be good to go. No need to wash it. I'll wash it myself. And he'd hang it right back up, and then it would tend to work. But, you know, it's all just a mindset, man.
Right.
You know, but I've been there, done that. I mean, I've gone through my certain superstitions. Katie knows that.
All right, so you got to tell us some of them.
So my junior year, our first year dating, Lenny's was my stuff. Like I had to have a deluxe club, mustard, hot pepper relish. I had to have it. If I didn't have it, I was not getting a hit that day. And so, you know, on weekends, it would, you know, or Sundays it was tough for me to get it. And so I knew she was the one when the first time I was freaking out I didn't have Lenny's. And she was like, hey, I'll get it for you. So she got it, stuck it under the back seat of my, back tire, got it for me. And I probably didn't get a hit, but at least she got me the Lenny's. There's a thought that counts. And then, I mean, I've had some stuff like in high school, my dad got me juice fruit one day and had a really good game. So I was like, well, looks like I'm chewing juice fruit for the rest of my baseball career. And then, you know, like 3 games later, I didn't get a hit, and I was like, just to the curb. So I'm not very good at that because I always like, you know, if it doesn't work for one game, I'm not trusting the process.
Right.
Yeah.
So I probably need to develop one.
So what you're saying is, if like I have a bad sports report, I need to just take a shower in my suit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just got to shower all the bad mojo off.
So we got another big game coming up, and this is on a different subject of baseball, but the Super Bowl is coming up. We got the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. So can we get a score prediction from you?
Dude, I ain't gonna lie to you. I have no idea because it's just like a coin flip. Now everybody's predicting the Chiefs to win big, and you know I like Mahomes because he's got that like baseball, like just athletic, like he's just throwing balls from down here and all this kind of stuff. So I'm gonna go the Chiefs, and plus you know my future mother-in-law is a huge Chiefs fan, so I can't side with other than the Chiefs. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm going to go like 35-24.
Okay.
I'm going to go high scoring.
I like that.
Yeah.
See, I'm going to say it's going to be close scoring. I want Andy Reid to win a Super Bowl. That dude deserves a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Fly Eagles
Also,
fly.
wait, what?
Said fly, Eagles fly.
Oh, yeah. You kind of fired him. But, but I'm going to go Chiefs 28, 49ers 24. I think the 49ers, you know, they can run the football. They might get a little bit of a lead like the Titans and like the Texans did weeks prior, but Mahomes and Andy Reid going to figure out that defense. Maybe call up Sean Payton since he scored 46 points on them.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs are going to get the victory.
What you got?
I got Chiefs. I'd probably say 35-24, something like that. That's what I was thinking. I like Mahomes. I think he's the best player in the league right now, and I think it's going to be tough to slow him down.
Patrick Mahomes boy. So since the season, and you came back to Mississippi College and you've been helping out with the baseball team, what has it been like just being back with those guys and kind of giving them a little bit of knowledge?
Well, first off, it was super sad. Like, I mean, like it's great that my baseball career is still going, but it's just super sad because like so many memories made on that field, made it to school. I don't even go here anymore. Like, it's just super weird. But, I mean, helping out has been great. You know, I have, you know, the core of that team is still mostly there. A lot of my buddies I got really close to, a lot of my groomsmen are still on that team. So it's really cool. Like, I miss them more than they know when I was in, you know, playing this summer. Because here you got to look around and say, hey, that guy's playing for me. That guy's playing for me. He's got my back. He's got my back. All those guys in the dugout have my back. And then you go out, and I'm with the Rangers, I'm like, that guy doesn't know my name. He probably wants me to suck. And, you know, these guys just could care less. I got a couple guys on the team that really care about me, but that's it. And that's just the business about it. But coming back here is a good refresher. Like, hey, this is where it all started. This is what it's all about. And they got a good group of guys. They got a good group of leaders on the team. You got Tommy, who's a super senior. He should be, he should be about retired by now. But he's gonna be good for him. You got Zach, Brandon, Grant, Watts. Chauncey, Ken is a really exciting name. Unfortunately, they just lost Dupe.
Ken's going to be good.
Yeah, Ken's going to be a great player, really good player. Dupe, unfortunately, will have to take a red shirt. But, overall, they're going to have a good group of guys. It's just if they have the right mentality, then they're going to be, they'll be perfectly fine as long as they, stay true to that winning mentality. But it's been great. Coaches give me a lot of leeway. They let me come out there, work out, do my stuff. They let me help out when, I think stuff needs to. Because, they're, it's a pretty young coaching staff. Not Coach Hayworth as much, but, Perez and Grady. So they're like, hey, what do y'all do here? What do y'all do here? And it's not me like knowing more than them. It's just like, hey, this is what we did. Let's see, and we talk about how that can like help out the team here. And so it's super fun because, if I ever do want to get into coaching after, I'm kind of getting a taste of it right now. So, they don't listen to me as much because they still see me as their teammate, but whatever, we'll deal with it later.
So let me ask you this. You talked a little bit about the kind of culture of the locker room at Mississippi College compared to the professionals. What is like the biggest difference is that? Is it guys, are competing for jobs and going to the next level?
Yeah, so, one of the standards here that Coach Hayworth instilled is selfless. That's not the case in pro ball, not even close. Maybe you give up yourself like to sacrifice bunt, but it's not like you're doing it for your teammate. Like you're doing it to make yourself look good. Like everything that you do in pro ball is for yourself, no matter what. Especially in the lower levels. Like, yeah, you want to win a championship, and that they love winners. They love people who win baseball games consistently. But at the same time, your job is to get up as quick as possible. So, like when I was saying we got out there, it was me and two other guys that were in this draft class. So it was me, a first baseman, a middle infielder, and an outfielder. Well, they already had a full roster of outfielders and fielders. So when we got out there, they knew that three guys were either going up or going down. And the league that we were in, if you're there for a while, then you're probably going down. So we get there, and there's like nobody talking to us for a week. And, three guys went down the next day. So we got out there, we were sharing lockers with these people, and then we get there the next day, those guys are gone, and we have our own locker. And you're just like, whoa, like, I didn't even have a chance to know that dude's last name. Like, come on now. And so it's just like that kind of – you have to protect yourself. Like they say don't get too close to people, which, I don't believe in that. If I get too close to him and he gets traded, then I'll still keep in touch with him. It doesn't matter. But honestly, I've talked to some scouts and talked to some coaches that, about that aspect of the game, and they're saying that they wish that we had the mentality that you have in college, the one that you're playing for your brothers next to you, because if you do that, then you're playing winning baseball, and that's what they're looking for. Because if you're playing winning baseball, then the results usually follow after the fact. And so that's kind of, hopefully I keep that mentality. Hopefully I don't lose that, and hopefully I, don't get selfish like the game wants you to be. But I'm sure I'll struggle with that, and hopefully I just keep playing team baseball, winning baseball, and hopefully that's what keeps me going.
Awesome.
So you spoke a little bit earlier about a coaching career and then how you've been helping the team this year, and that might be something you can put on your resume. I spoke with our insider, and they told me you have a little interesting job description that's on your resume now. So
yeah.
Why don't you tell us about that?
All right, so first started dating Katie. It was at the end of her soccer season, and so I wasn't able to get involved the first season. But the next season I had to completely learn the game.
Right.
I had no idea what was going on. So I was at their first game, and it was super rainy. I think it was her junior year, and it was super rainy, and so they needed ball boys. And I was like, hey, I've done this one time for the boys team. Like, I can do this. So, but there's a strategy to it. can't just, grab the ball, give it back to him. You got to look at the clock. You got to look at the score. You got to look at all kinds of variables that go into being a good ball boy. So I don't take that job lightly. And I took an immense amount of pride in being a ball boy. And I was there for all the home games that I could be, and I was a ball boy. So I think that's a respectable job that should be looked at on a resume. And, I was pretty well known around the GSC as probably the best ball boy. But I was also, I did talk some smack to the girls, the other team, so I got a warning there. Didn't know you couldn't say some certain stuff, and I didn't know you couldn't hold the ball for a certain length, because we'd be winning and it'd be late in the game, and the ball would be like, oh my bad, and throwing the ball. But hey, anything for a win, anything for a dub,
whatever works. So.
I'll always look back, and I think that's kind of where I got really mentally tough, is being a ball boy.
It's a great answer.
Yeah. Blaine, you've been awesome, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
So we got the next segment of our show coming up with Elliot Reeder, who also is a big soccer fan and also talks a lot of smack, but that's okay. We love Elliot for it. Coming up next. Welcome back. Now we're going to have Elliot Reeder with some trivia questions. Elliot?
All right, so this first question is about something that Blaine does not do a lot of, and that's striking out. So the first question is, which position player holds the MLB record for getting struck out the most times in his career?
Adam Dunn?
It was not Adam Dunn.
Oh, man.
I know that Chris Davis is getting pretty dang close to it.
Yeah. Is it Chris Davis?
It's not Chris Davis.
No.
He's rising up the ranks pretty quickly, but...
Can I get a hit on the position?
We played in the 70s and 80s, and he is a Hall of Famer. That's a hint I'll give you.
Reggie Jackson.
It is Reggie Jackson. Struck out
baby.
over 2,500 times in his career.
He's an all-or-nothing guy there.
Yep. All right, the second question. Now, some sad news is coming out today. Certain quarterback is retiring today, Eli Manning. So him and his less talented brother, Peyton, they both made a lot of money in their career. So how much money did those two make combined in salary from the Giants, Colts, and Broncos?
It's got to be like $500 million, right?
That's very close. It's very close to $500 million.
I'm going
450?
417.
I'm gonna go 480.
The price is right.
$501,012,004.
What? Dude, you couldn't give me that?
I said you were close. $1
million's a lot.
Yeah,
Be all fly.
Yeah.
Madison's mad that you said that Peyton was the less talented brother.
Well, he doesn't have as many memes made about him.
He's got a bigger forehead.
That is true. All right. So now going back to baseball, what player holds the MLB record for most hits in a season?
Pete Rose.
I would say, but I'm going to go with Ichiro.
It was Ichiro with 262 hits back in 2004.
Yeah. He's just a hit machine.
Yep. All right, last question. We're going to go to the NBA now. All right, so what NBA player holds the NBA record for most career turnovers?
I know this one. It's LeBron, right?
It's not LeBron. He is second.
Hold on.
I'm out on this one, boys.
I'm thinking.
This guy played back in the 90s.
Okay.
Is it John Stockton?
It's not John Stockton.
90s.
That's close.
Not Gary Payton, not Isaiah Thomas. Dude, I wanted to say Allen Iverson, but it's not AI. Give me a conference.
Aaron's guess was very close of John Stockton.
No, not Karl Malone.
It is Karl Malone.
Look at that, boy.
He had 4,524 career turnovers.
Dude, that's a good question because I would never guess a power forward.
Right. I would think it'd be a primary ball handler kind of guy.
Yep. So thank you, Elliot.
No problem.
All right. Thank you, Blaine.
Thank
Appreciate you. Good luck.
Appreciate it, man.
You go up in February back to spring?
I do.
You excited?
Go back to Arizona, get some spring training in, and then they're shipping me to North Carolina. So hopefully have another good season, good first full season. So
Well, thanks for coming on the show.
appreciate it.
Well, that's it for the Choctaw Sports Hot Seat. We'll see you guys next week. I'm Corey Rholdon.
I'm Aaron Feazelle.